Okay. Let us get started. Okay. There we are. There we are. Let me see. Okay, almost there. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Okay. Continuing where we left off yesterday. Where we left off yesterday? Where was that? I suppose we're trying to use things from the storage now, basically. So yesterday we got working the world item storages, like the voxel stockpiles. We got those working yesterday to where people, colonists can go and drop things off there. And now we need to pick things up from there as well. So I'm working on that right now. So I suppose where I left off here. Area actor. Do I have that? I don't know that I actually. Yeah, I do. It's okay, sorry. We need the area actor, which I have. I do have that. Out storage. That's the area actor. What else do we need here for this? I'm getting the interaction point, I guess. Oh, I did this backwards. This needs to be here. Did that backwards. Get... Yeah, no, that actually was correct. I was looking at the wrong function. Okay. This one is the one that's backwards. Out storage. Entity location, closest to location. Voxel size. Ugh, I hate that I have to pass that in everywhere. Get area building data. Voxel size, and then I'll need voxel transforms. Wait, oh no, I need the params there. And then I need to get the transforms as well. Okay, so I need to do basically the same thing that I did. Where was it? In hauling? Where was it? I basically did this already somewhere, and I've forgotten where it was. I like went through and I got the ISMCs, and like it was like the first one that wasn't a world item. Oh god. I remember absolutely nothing of what I did yesterday. Michala, welcome in, hello. Let me just search for the term voxel transforms. Or no, I guess it would be, let's search for a, you know, U world item ISMC. No, it's not going to be in there. Colony utils. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. So this should probably be in, let's put this in building utils. I'm going to, yeah, grab all of this. Throw this in building utils, basically. Okay. Good items in storage. Hello, please. Why is my control? Storage utils. I need to organize this class quite a bit here. Okay, let's make a U function. Blueprint callable because why not? Static. Array of F transform. Get building voxel transforms. Okay. Well, I guess we should probably just, we can do a bool here so we don't reallocate an entire array, because this could be potentially expensive. That could be an expensive reallocation. Copy. Transforms, call it voxel transforms. Return if it's not empty. Okay. Okay, so we are going to U building utils, get area, get building voxel let's call that get area voxel transforms. Storage building, and then T array of voxel. There we go. Excuse me. Excusins. Okay, so we have that. Can I one line that? Yeah, just one line that. We have that now. What are you mad at? Oh, I renamed it, right. There we go. Okay, voxel transforms. You can make another one for just like a get building voxel size, which is kind of like a stupid small one. But it will reduce a lot of boilerplate. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The neighbor's dogs are, they're out. What am I writing? Yeah, we want to just return a float here for get area voxel size. We can just do, I think we can just do const a building object actor. Give me that back. There we go. Okay, so if area building, if area building does not return 0, area building, get area building params. I need the inclusion and exclusion bound. Oh no, those are out. Yeah. And what were they? F area building bound. Voxel size. Return voxel size. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be a nice and easy way that we can get our voxel size here without mucking up the code too much. Really need a whole set of utils just for area stuff. Okay, so we got the voxel transforms and the voxel size. I mean, really, I should just make a wrapper function for this, right? To just pass in as storage. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably... Where am I using this at? Yeah, let's make a wrapper function for this. Here I go refactoring again. Okay. I guess the other one I didn't make static, so I won't make this one static. Get valid storage spots for area. And this will take in a building object actor. And we can get everything that's not the closest to location and item to store. Those will always need to be passed in. Neely, hello, welcome in. Good morning to you. So I basically just need to do the same thing I just did right here. So what's going to go there? Area building. What do I need here? Get valid storage spots. Why is proxy actor there? Do I need that? I don't think I need that. Area building data, yeah, so we need to get that as well. Oh, I already have that. Okay, because it's const. Okay, we don't want it to be const. Sorry. Sorry. No, we'll just return there. So this is just a wrapper. Just a wrapper. Okay, so this will turn into tset f voxel storage spots for area, out storage, entity location, and item to and out item. God damn, what is happening? My phone. Okay. Move to location. Yeah. We have these valid storage spots. Okay, so if valid storage spots has more than one, else Let's do this. We're gonna instantiate this here. Found interaction point equals false. If not, it's true. And then we set pick up item action, move to location equal to array 0 get. Is there a better way to do that? It's the Germder. Yeah, hello. Welcome in. So there's a blueprint. There's a blueprint thing, right? Get item at index. There is a way to get a... It should be somewhere in these files. To get an index from a set. Which is not possible in C++, but it is in blueprints. And that's not possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is possible in C++. Where would this be at? It's got to be in building area, right? It's got to be in here. I thought it would have been in... is it in store item and area? Yes, it is. Okay, this guy. Get item by index. There it is. Blueprint set library. What does this do? Oh my god. Can I use this in C++? It's not implemented. Function reference, set, external member, get function name checked. So this is, I think this is just putting the function onto the set node for blueprints, but where's the actual internal? Where is the actual internals of it? There it is. It's a thunk. Oh yes, of course. Jesus Christ, look how much code is required for this. Generic get set item by index. Ah, we use the iterator, okay. We create the iterator and then we just return the iterator. Is that... Where does the index come in? Oh, we create iterator at that index in logical index. Okay, interesting. Now that's set helper. What is script set helper? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Of course, like just getting something from a set in Unreal Engine has to be just the most difficult thing in the world, doesn't it? All this does is just create an iterator. Okay, we needed a whole level of abstraction for that, I guess. I can just create an iterator though on a set, right? Although I cannot create it at an index. Thank you for the Chinese symbols, very cool. There's gotta be an easier way. Iterator, get element pointer for this iterator, get internal index. Set get data at that internal index. Passing in a layout, which is... My god, dude. My fucking god. The most complicated thing in Unreal Engine. Getting an item by index from a set. Allegedly. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with that. We're just gonna stick with that for now. Although this probably does a copy, which is not ideal. Not ideal. But we're gonna go with it. Because I don't know, maybe I could just use the use set blueprint library thing. I don't know how custom thunks work in Unreal Engine. Like, do they have to be called from blueprints to have that functionality? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, if we don't have any, let's just do nothing because we've already set found interact point to false. We've initialized it to false here. So yeah, we will realize that here. Put that there. Okay, so now we should be able to, and let me replace the usages of this. Where is get valid storage spots? There we go. Where are you being used at, sir? Yeah, so this is the one I'm going to want to replace. Because then we can just, yeah, we have the storage building, so yeah, it's gonna be the same thing. So we're gonna copy pasta here, basically. I had already copied it. Okay, so this whole thing, as long as I don't need these elsewhere, right? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do this whole thing. Do I have the location yet? And then the item. What was the item here? Item to store. Yeah, that makes sense. Item to store, yeah, okay. All right, let's rebuild. I think this will compile. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. I am working on a video game. RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo with procedural destructible terrain and AI generated quests. I could show that off here in a moment once this compiles. I will say the procedural terrain is probably what I've spent the most time on, so it's the snazziest piece of functionality I have. This is a game in Unreal Engine. I use mostly C++ for it. I do use some blueprints as well, which is Unreal Engine's visual scripting language. The noodles, basically. They're just a bunch of noodles. Mumblefluke in the house once again. Yes, welcome in, Mumblefluke. What do you use to make the game? Unreal Engine. That is booting up here momentarily. There it is. Ignore the Dark Medieval editor. That's just from an asset pack that overrode the splash screen. It's actually just Unreal Engine. I'm working on Colony Sim things lately, like hauling to and from storage, and because of my procedural terrain, because it has underground caves and concavity, which is a notoriously difficult thing to handle in video games, I had to make this voxelized storage algorithm. I call it like a walking voxel algorithm, but you can like draw areas into the world, and usually you would just use like a bounds for that, like a big square or a block to like, hey, this is an area in the game. But for my game, because I have underground caves, you might accidentally select a cave that's underground that you don't know about, and those will be more dangerous than the surface, so you might accidentally send your colonists into a cave if you were to do that. So I had to write this whole like algorithm that basically spins up voxels on the fly and follows the terrain and kind of conforms to the shape of it. I'll show it here in a second. The engine is booting the fuck up right now. Thank you. Thank you for finally booting up. Okay, should we grab a new seat? Let's grab a new seat. 580. We'll go seed 580, whatever that is. So here is the procedural terrain. There it goes. Now this is kind of a boring seed because it's all basically one zone. Well, there's a little red zone over there too. But there it is. There it is. Here's me. So we should have PCG spawning in here soon. It's still spawning here. But here's the world map. And so what we saw was only about this big of a radius around me. But it's a very big map. I think it's 15 kilometers. And each of these different colors is like a different zone. And I surround them by mountains. So there's like mountains around each one of these. And so the white dots are actually how you get from like zone to zone. And I did this because I wanted to create more of like a World of Warcraft type zone rather than like a Minecraft type biome. You know, like in Minecraft or like Valheim, the biomes just kind of seamlessly blend from one to another. And they're just kind of there, you know, they don't have like a zone name. You know, like in something like Vanilla WoW, all the zones have different vibes to them, different names, different stories, different points of interest, you know. So I want to go for something more like that. I also just think it creates a better sense of exploration. I don't like that seed though. We're going to try a different one. 580, 581. Because it's like when you cross that threshold from one zone into another and it drastically changes, it creates a really cool sense of exploration. Now this terrain noise here is very flat, so it's not super interesting. But here's an example of one of those zone entrance chunks that I was talking about. And also a good example of me not blending my materials. And so if I were to look that direction, yeah, so we are in Unbroken Plateau, and that is apparently the Frozen Throne is over there. Echoing Glen right here, Bristlethorn Thicket, the Giant's Lair, Raven's Roost, the Mirror of Truth, the Goblin Mines of Greed, Shadow Watch Abyss, Necromancer's Crypt, Serpent Fang Crater, Fallen Kingdom, Sky Shadow Cliffs. So I'm hoping like each of these will they'll be like very unique zones with different biomes, and I want to have like kind of dynamic biomes where they're not like, you know, there's not just like a set resource that spawns in them, right? Like they're all like different vibes and stuff, and it's all just kind of like randomly generated and stuff. So that's what I want to go for. Let me spawn a colonist here, and I'll show you the AI generated quests. It's kind of just, everything's just kind of like proof of concept at the moment. Like these are all placeholder assets, just kind of free assets I picked up over the years. So I'm going to generate a quest. And so what that's doing right now is sending an API request out to the Gemini API. And I just say, you know, I dump my entire item database in the prompt. Everything that's spawned into the world gets dumped in there. And then I say, hey, generate a video game quest or a fantasy RPG, and put it in, give it to me in this JSON object. And I give it an example of a JSON schema, and it responds to me with that pretty nicely. And so all the character information gets passed into there as well. So we're talking here to Bardrick Silverbrook, who is a 33-year-old male elf rogue who is pessimistic and apathetic. Bardrick's childhood was marked by tragedy and loss, leaving him with a cynical outlook on life. He drifted from place to place, never staying in one place for too long, haunted by his past. So let's see what quest got generated for him. Okay. And he said, so we got the quest Bardrick's Compass. And he says, you've got the ambition of a flea on a dog, eh? Figures. You ever heard of someone or someplace called Whisperwind Hollow? Problem is, my father, he had this trinket with him. Some worthless piece of elven craftsmanship it was. Well, important to him. Probably nothing more than a sentiment, knowing him, but I still need to get it back. I won't go there myself, not after all these years. It would just open a new wound. I need you to go to Whisperwind Hollow and find it. I remember him saying he kept it in the root cellar of our old home. Look for a small wooden box. Inside is a silver compass engraved with ivy leaves. And bring it back to me. I will give you 10 of the 25 coins now, and you will get the other 15 upon the compass return. If you get nothing, you get nothing. And so what that did is it actually filled out that JSON object, and I have like these different objectives that I give it that it can use. So the objectives here are explore, interact with the root cellar, and obtain the silver compass, and then talk to him. And that's the quest. They're not like really completable right now, but I have gotten it to spawn things into the world. Like I give it like an array and say, hey, if you want to spawn anything, grab some classes from my database and put them in here, and it's actually done that, and it can get the classes pretty well. Like, it'll spawn like bandits and stuff. It does an absolutely terrible job of figuring out where to spawn them, so I'll probably have to handle that myself on the you know, within the code side of things. But it's still pretty cool. And so we get this like quest description, which is worded from the player's perspective. So it's like basically what was in here, but from the player's perspective. And then we got a couple additional dialogue options. Why is this compass so important to you? Doesn't matter to you, does it? It was my followers. That's all you need to know. What can you tell me about Whisperone Hollow? Doesn't matter. It's gone, lost. Now, do you wish to go to a place that won't even be recorded in history, or are you going to dawdle? I'll do it. So yeah. Do try Quinn API. So the reason I use the Gemini API is because it's fast, cheap, and has a large context window. And those are all things that, those are like the most important things. Like, I need a large context window, I need it to be fast, and I need it to be inexpensive. And so I think right now Gemini has the best version of that. So that's the AI quest stuff. But here are the storage areas I was mentioning. So here's like the little voxel algorithm for defining an area. So you'll see it kind of like follows the terrain. And then you can like change colors. And for these areas, you can tell them like, hey, construct in this area, chop trees in this area, forge in this area, or you can store things in this area. But where did he go? He was looking for food. He got hungry. Oh, I need to change that, don't I? Yeah, so he's gonna be very hungry. I was testing. Hang on. Let's change that. Change that back down to 20. We'll do a new seed as well here. Roadmap seed 581, let's go 582. There we go. There's a nice seed with some nice tall mountains and stuff. So yeah, right now I only have like 2 biomes, but hope to have a lot more. The PCG graphs that I have are actually quite easy to spin up now that I've gotten a lot of the foundation built out. I just need like the assets basically. Let's see, can we spawn a colonist? Is he gonna spawn in like an okay spot? Probably not. Oh yeah, he spawned fine. Nice, okay. So, little example of these, he might be stuck there actually. Let me look at the nav mesh. Yeah, he's a little stuck up there. Yeah, that's a disconnected nav mesh for sure. Okay, but we can still show off here. So this is what I've been working on recently. Just grab or we'll build like a little storage area. So I have a bunch of items here. I'm just gonna drop some wood, split up these wood stacks. So I'm just gonna drop some here. And so I need you to first of all join my colony. Welcome aboard. Now get to work. Go haul things. So he's gonna go pick up all that wood. And then he's gonna put it in the stockpile. This is what I did yesterday. Yeah, now all the wood is in the stockpile. And I can grab it. We also have some containers, a little building system. And so I can do the same thing, and he'll just take it to the closest stockpile. He should, anyway. So if I go here, and then say haul, we put those in there, and then you put that one in there. So yeah, now we have those 2 pieces of wood in the stockpile. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. And maybe I can spawn an enemy. We'll show off a little bit of the combat. see here. Enemy ranger, sure. Okay. Oh god, he left his bow. There we go. A little bit of combat right there. A little bit of combat. And so yeah, it's gonna be like the games that I'm using as my inspiration for the genre combinations. It's gonna be RPG, Colony Sim, Roguelite. And so for the RPG, it'll be something like Vanilla WoW, like just for the classes, combat, and like the talent, you know, deep talent trees, lots of abilities to pick from. Oh, I hope it to be a little bit more interactive than just pure tab target, but there will definitely be some tab targetness in there. And then for the Colony Sim side of things, RimWorld, one of my all-time favorite games. Great Colony Sim game, a lot of fun, super random. And it's kind of just like rolling with the punches is kind of like the theme of the game, and I love that. Like your colony gets raided, you know, all of your colonists have different little personalities and different things they're good and bad at, and it just creates a lot of really random scenarios. And then Hades for the roguelite. And so those are kind of my North Star when it comes to these genres. Oh, I also have dynamic tree chopping. So it actually edits the mesh at runtime when the axe connects with it, like based on wherever I hit it. So I chopped it up high right there. And I think I got 7 wood from that. And then we can chop it down low as well. If my animation actually hits it. There we go. So yeah, I still need to work on colonist tree chopping. They're not, they don't know how to do that yet. They only know how to forage at the moment. Forage, haul, and construct. Goodbye, tree. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, goodbye me as well. That was a nice sliding fall, at least. Then we got some nice underground caves. We got some nice underground caves to explore. Nothing super exciting in there yet, but I will be... What is this? What is this collision here? My mantling settings are fucked up, I think. But yeah, we have this underground cave, and you can, like, you know, grab some tree roots there. Everything is basically interactable in the world. And so I will be spawning ore and stuff down there. Here is, hopefully... Nope, that didn't work. Okay. I don't know. I think it only works going a certain direction. I've just really proof of concepted the... There we go. That's the destructible terrain. There you go. It did destruct the terrain there. Now it looks horrible, and it's not useful at all in that shape. So, lots of work to do there. But it is possible. It is possible. And yeah, nothing in here, but eventually I want to, like, see, do we have, like, a big crater anywhere? I always think it would be cool to, like, look down into a big crater and then see, like, a big goblin city or, like, a fucking Balrog or something, you know? I guess this would be the closest. Well, it's not even... This noodle cave. This noodle cave just almost goes down into this cave. But yeah, imagine if... That lighting does not make sense. That lighting does not make sense. I think I need to turn on the distance that the chunks cast shadows from to something quite a bit higher. Here's a nice little hollow cave. I should probably... Let's run over there. I want to see what that generates to. And so the flow of the game will be something like, you know, you when you create a character, you'll choose a class. I'll have several different classes to choose from, and each class has a unique set of abilities. And so you'll run around in the world. You know, here's the world. You'll be exploring, leveling up every few levels. You will get, you know, like 3 different abilities to choose from. And hopefully that will mean each run that you do will be different, because your build, you're creating a build as you level through the game. And then talents will be static, so you'll have to pick talents that are complementary to the abilities that you've chosen. And as you go through the world, you'll be recruiting colonists, building a colony, potentially multiple colonies. And I'll have AI ran colonies as well, creating different factions in the world to interact with. And these different zones will have different, hopefully different mobs. They'll be, higher and higher level as you venture out from the center. And while you're gone, one thing about my game is that I wrote my own ECS system, which is just a way, which I'll actually turn on the spawning here. Let's turn on spawning. But an ECS system is like a really efficient way of running like thousands and thousands of entities, like NPCs. New seed, 583. And so I want the whole world to be running at all times, right? Like if you build a colony over here and then you run way over to the other side of the map, like way out there, I still want your colony to be running, right? If you sent guys out to the forest to go chop trees, I want them to actually run to the forest and chop those trees, right? And if there's any wolves or bandits in the forest, they will get attacked. And it's that comes with a lot of technical challenges. This is a very large map. Each pixel on here is a terrain chunk. And so here is that is 1 pixel on the map. And so we are generating a radius of 4 pixels. So I'm only showing like this big of a section right now. So with procedural terrain, I can't have the terrain like generated at all times. That's one of the challenges. Is my navigation still generating? It is, yeah. You'll notice that like there are floating trees and stuff here. And that's because I don't actually, the mesh isn't there. Like you might just think like the mesh is just set to invisible. No, it's not. Like the mesh, I've deleted the mesh there. I've generated the data and I get like vertex and index buffer data from some of my compute shader algorithms that I run to generate the terrain. And so I take that data and I can store it in a spatial data structure, like a bounding volume hierarchy. And then I can use that to effectively be my collision. Like there's no collision here either. But yet both the nav mesh, which I need to coax it to regenerate. There you go. So the shaded part is the nav mesh. The nav mesh knows there's going to be a mountain here. The nav mesh knows that there is going to be a tunnel here. And because I have this data, I'm saving on memory because I don't have to calculate the whole mesh and render the whole mesh and everything like that. But I wrote my own PCG nodes to query through this bounding volume hierarchy of data. And what that allows you to do is rather than iterating over every single triangle, which is what that data represents, all the triangles for the mesh, rather than iterating over every single triangle and then doing a line segment triangle intersection test, what you can do is only iterate over a subset of them that are in the local area. That's effectively how collision works in video games, right? If you have spatial data, you can store it in a bounding volume hierarchy and you can iterate over it and detect collisions a lot more efficiently. So that's what I do. And I wrote a PCG node that queries that data. So usually PCG, you need the built-in collision on things. Like you need an actual something with collision to get the points to spawn on the mesh. I don't need that anymore because I wrote my own node that'll use this spatial data structure. And I use that same data, gets passed to the nav mesh, and the nav mesh knows what that'll do. And so there are actual entities out here that are moving around. You can't see them, they're not rendered, right? But they do move around on this nav mesh. And yeah, I'm just capping the generation right now to this square. But if I were to run further, it would continue to generate. So here's a bunch of entities spawned. So yeah, there should be some guys down there. Let's see how many got spawned so far. Okay, usually I can get up to like 2,000. So there's only about 1,000 entities spawned and running right now. Sometimes it's anywhere from 1 to 2K that get spawned. Sir, you are not using your bow, sir. Dude, oh my god, this guy's like fucking hacks. Nice, okay. Is he making a game? Yes, I am making a game. YouTube looks like the forest in Minecraft in a good way. Yeah, well, these are all placeholder assets, so it won't look like this when, you know, eventually. So I'm just, I'm no artist, so I just have to use what I got here. Is there gonna be a city? Please make sure to make it alive. People doing stuff. Yeah, I'll get, there will be points of interest in NPC ran colonies, yeah. You built your own? That sounds labor intensive. That was that easier than adopting a different one or just more suited to your needs? Just provided me a better understanding, allowed me to work with it a lot easier. Like, Unreal Engine has a built-in ECS system called Mass Entity. I found it incredibly fucking difficult to work with. And so I was like, dude, I'm just gonna build my own. Like, the concepts are not that difficult for an ECS system. And I would rather just build my own so that I understand how it works. And that allowed me to work on it a lot more effectively. And then I optimized for multi-threaded, so I've rewritten a lot of Unreal Engine systems to like work on the background thread, because Unreal Engine really wants you to do things on the game thread, but you know, that's not very efficient. So right now my biggest bottleneck is combat, because I'm using gas for combat, gameplay ability system, and that wants to run on the game thread. So I will be overriding that to make sure that it doesn't run on the game thread. Right now I think I'm capped to like maybe 200 entities all in combat at once before it drops to like 20 FPS, you know? What kind of game? RPG Colony Sim Roguelite combo. Love the WoW placeholders. Yeah. Had to borrow some WoW assets just to get a feel for it, you know? So the seed's a little boring as well. I do like this nice cave system here. That's very cute. Very cute. We almost had a couple nice tunnels. Dude, every time I see you working on this, it gets better. You know, a lot of people say that, and it's always when looking at the terrain, and I haven't touched the terrain generation since I started streaming on YouTube Shorts. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you think it looks great, but I have not touched the terrain generation at all. I think I've only been working on Colony Sim things. You think I should use, for example, cell bombing or simple layer variation? Yeah, I'm a programmer, so I have no idea about the rendering side of things. I don't have good information on that stuff. I would encourage you to just try them out and see what you like better. So yeah, should we look at another seed? 583, 584. No, I mean the movement and the ability bar and interaction stuff. That is also all stuff that I haven't touched. I've really only touched the Colony Sim things recently. Uh, 584. There's a nice seed. Look at that one. Nice tall mountains. Yeah, this is a nice terrain. I love this. This looks great. What I would love is to have like a procedural iron forge, you know, kind of sticking out of this cave a little bit. I think that would be sick. Yeah, this looks fun. This looks like a fun scene to explore. After let's just fall. We're just gonna fall. It's a terrible tree chopping sound, I know. I know. And this is a tree chopping sound that came from the WoW files. What was that solo NPC doing all alone in the dark of that mountain? They just spawn in random spots for right now. Dude, the casters are actually kind of hard. Oof. Yeah, that guy almost got me. Eat some food here. Poor NPC, bro. He had it coming. Did you see the way he looked at me? Okay. Can I even get out of here? I do need to work on how the 3D noise connects to the height map a little bit better, because it is a little jagged, a little janky there. Oh, come on. Get up there. Could you tell something about my project? What would you like to know? I just got done doing a lot of explanation of the project. It's an RPG Colony Sim Roguelite, is what it'll be. You may chop down some wood. I fell. Oops. Oh god, I fell into the tree stump. What was that? Oh, I can't even see where this tree is. There we go. Little tiny tree. Oh, I almost nailed that guy. That would have been funny. I need to make the trees do damage when they hit people. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, we just fell into this big cave. That was a neat little cave. I like that. And then it's like it's so much higher up than the surrounding biomes. I'm gonna go look over the edge here. The animation of the chopping was a little too much. Yeah, so again, these are all placeholder assets. The wood chopping animation was one I made myself, and I am not an animator. So it is all just placeholder. It's not even like that. That's not a good animation. You want to see an even better one? Check this out. Oh yeah, so good. Those are not actual like animations. They're not supposed to be final at the moment. They're not even gonna be. I'm not even gonna use those. Those are just literally everything is placeholder at the moment. Everything is. Hasty Wasty, welcome in. Good morning. I'm doing it. Oh shit. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. All right. Where am I? Is that an exit, or I think that's just the chunk that hasn't been spawned yet? Oh. Things have spawned. Yeah, I don't think there's a way out of this cave. What are your plans? I don't have any plans. Okay. So I need to test. I need to test grabbing food from a stockpile storage is what I was working on. So let's put some food in there. Oh, and I need to change his food threshold here. Let's go 98. Make sure he joins my colony. He should be getting hungry soon. And he should theoretically go grab that. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. Oh, he doesn't know how to pick it up. He's stuck. Okay, so that'll be... Oh yeah, I never did anything there. Yeah. Should I make a project in Vanilla.js before React? I don't think it's strictly necessary. Okay, so with this pickup item action, oh yeah, I would need to figure out the instance ID of the ISMC. Right. So he knows where to go, he doesn't know how to pick it up yet. If I need the instance ID, I don't have a way to like instantly do a reverse lookup. What do I want to do? I could look up the item. I mean, I guess I don't have the, I guess I have these storage settings here. I have area data, get area data, break it. I have these stored items, which is a vector of location to item, and that vector should be the, that's not the voxel transform. That would not be the voxel transform. If it was, I could look it up in there. I would have to iterate over every single item in there, and it could be a pretty big area. So that would need to happen on the background thread, although I know I'm already planning to handle this on the background thread, so that wouldn't be unprecedented. But the stored item storage areas are it's stored by the storage location, not the voxel ISMC location. Is that necessary? I think I did that because you could have two voxels stacked on top of each other, and like the top one wouldn't be valid. So I can't even really get the information I need by looking that up. I would have to find the item in there and then do like a line. I'd have to do some sort of trace to even get the voxel. Do I need the voxel? That's the question. Or do I just need to do... Do I just need to do some sort of trace to get the item? Really, all I need is the world item ISMC, not the voxel ISMC. I'll have to think about that. One moment. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, okay, hang on. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Damn it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We'll get back to it. Give me just a hot second. Okay. Oh, thank God I have no meetings today. Oh my God. Y'all ever look at an empty calendar and just get like a rush of euphoria? Okay, let's get back to game dev. I'm sorry about that. Who can remind me? All right, who was paying attention? What was I working on? Does anyone remember? Dude, I'm getting fucking old, man. Oh yeah, picking up from the stockpile. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we need to figure out a way to what I have here in this payload is an item. Get item to pick up. Get item to pick up. Should be in this array on the ISMC. The problem is I don't know the instance index or ID to remove. That's the problem. Now, what I would need to do... I don't even actually know the ISMC, do I? That would be the storage actor, the area. I don't know the ISMC, so I think I need to do... Because there's going to be multiple... So I have the voxel ISMC that actually stores like the cubes, the shader cube things, and then I have the world item ISMCs that actually store the item icon things. Why do you have two lives at the same time? One's vertical and one is horizontal, as denoted by the title, where one ends in vertical and the other one does not. Okay, so I have the item. I have this stored items here for the items stored in this area building. The location, it's a vector to item map. That vector is the storage spot, which is not equal to the voxel location. I don't think I care about that though, right? Because I'm trying to, all I need to do is remove from the ISMC. So I guess I could just do like a little voxel box trace at this location, right? The voxel may not be... It should be X and Y centered on the voxel, but it's not going to be Z centered on the voxel. So if I just did like a little box trace here, box trace for objects maybe. Oh, what did I do for the... I did a different collision settings or something. Oh, I'm ignoring all channels so that line trace hits voxel ISMC consistently. So if I do a box trace, it wouldn't have to be for objects. I would have to do a box trace multi, and then I'd have to search through the list. world static. Actually, no, we could do world static, right? Because is this Unity? No, this is Unreal Engine. Actors to ignore. I don't want to ignore anything, actually. Let's draw time, 5 seconds, sure. Green, sure. Orientation 0, start, end, half size, so hit voxel size. And I need to divide that by 2, of course, because it's half, and that's how you get half. If you guys didn't know, you can divide by 2 to get half of something. Crazy, I know. Just tune in. What are we making this time? Right now I'm trying to make the colonists be able to pick up things from the voxel stockpiles. Is what I'm doing today. So that they can, like, you know, when they get hungry, they can go to the stockpiles and grab food, you know? Or if they need to construct something, they can look in the colony stockpiles or containers to grab, like, wood to take it to the construction site, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm realizing I need, like, a box trace here because I don't have the information I need. I think this will probably be the best way to do that. So we're going to start... I think we start at move to location, actually. And then I think we end at the same location because it's a box trace sweep. So we don't want the box to move. Just, it's like, give me something in this box, is what I'm saying. And so I will need you eventually. If we get a hit there. If we don't get a hit, set task status? Or no, I need to, like, get interact action. Set status. No. What is it? Update status? Yes, that's what I want. Update it to failed. That way the state tree can respond to that event there. Now let's break this bad boy. Break the hit result. So we can fail there. We can also fail if hit component cast to world item ISMC. So we need it to hit the world item ISMC. If it does not, we are going to fail as well. Now, once we get to the world item ISMC, we will also need to make sure it contains the item. Contained items is an array. And that is important. Importantato. So I think what I need here then is we also need the hit item, get instance, get custom data for instance. Let me try that again. Custom data, get custom data value, instance static mesh. Oh boy. There's the index. And what am I storing here? Custom data wait, what? Oh, this is setting. I get custom data. Wait, how do I get the custom data value? Can you not get custom data? All I have is this one that I wrote. ID. Index to ID. So I guess okay. Weird that get I don't need a ref. Get to copy is fine. Get custom. This can return like null, right? So the reason why you aren't just maintaining a list of objects on the stockpile object and having your colonists take from that? Yeah, I do that. But there's kind of two different lists, right? And there's different ways you can correlate those. I just don't have a constant time lookup of going from an item to the ISMC instance. Like I need an index or an ID, which are they're the same thing, in order to remove from the ISMC. So there is the UMyItem class. That's the actual data representation of my class. That's what goes into different inventories. I am storing that here. There's an array of the contained items, right? And then I also have on the area a map of the storage location to the item. What I don't have is a map of the world item ISMC transform, or rather what I don't have is a map of the world item ISMC object to the index or ID that it's at. That's what I don't have. So there's actually like, for all the different things I need to do, I would need to store the data differently in order to have a constant time lookup of it. And I don't know that I care about having that constant time lookup over taking up more memory. That's the trade-off I'm doing here, I guess. So really, I just need to, like, I can already put it into the character's inventory. That part's easy. I have all the information I need for that. What I don't have the information for is which instance am I removing from the ISMC. And that's what actually is shown in the world, right? So there's two, like there's the visual representation of the item, then there's the data backing the item. I need to handle both. I hope that makes sense. And yeah, I could have, I wonder if I should have a map of, let me actually think about that now that I've talked about that, and I'll try to justify why I don't want that. So the way I've been doing this is that I add custom data, which is a built-in notion in an ISMC, to each instance that gets added. And that has the index. Oh, that's why I did it, because of the index. Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell. But so I have, the way I built this was to have the ability to go from an instance, and given an instance, I know what item it represents. That's what I'm optimizing for here. And that's the most common use case, right? That's when, like, whenever you're looking at something in the world and you pick it up, that's that use case, right? I do a line trace, you know, on interaction from the character's camera to the world. I hit the world item ISMC. Anytime you hit ISMC with a trace, you get the instance index and the component. With that, you can get the instance, remove the instance, do whatever you want with the instance. You can get the custom data from the instance. That allows me to tell what the item is, because the custom data is the index of that item. Now, if I store this if I had like a map of instance index, I guess maybe, would that be a better way? Because, like, I guess that wouldn't be any more data. Let me actually think about that. That wouldn't be any more data. The problem with ISMCs is that the indices aren't, they're not stable. They're not stable. So you have to use the primitive instance ID. So if I did a tmap of, yeah, I can't get it index anymore. And that may be fine, because maybe I just don't even use the custom data, actually. But then I need to like expose this to blueprints and stuff. How much more data would this be? I don't think this would actually be any more data. This would be a int32. Well, no, it would be f primitive instance ID. Item index, and instead, yeah, we would just be contain items dot contains instance ID. And if it does, return that item. I'm not sure what the ISMC is, not a game dev. But couldn't you just keep a reference to the data representation of the object as the custom data in the ISMC instead of an ID/index? No, the custom data can only be float values. That's why. That's why I think I initially did this. And that's why I initially stored it in an array. Because I was just thinking about the case where, you know, you are a player, you look at an item in the world that's from a line trace. How do you get information from a line trace through the instance ID or index via custom data? I think that's how I was thinking about it. And custom data can only be floating point values. You can't just put U objects or anything in there. So you have to, what I did was I put a pointer to a U object essentially, which was an index in an array. So I did have that, but going from custom data to instance, like you would have to iterate through every single custom data to find the U object, which is inefficient. That's not a constant time lookup. It would actually just be easier to do a line trace and get that information. It's not necessarily like, can't you just store data in this way? It's like, I do have the data stored, but it's about like what format is the data stored in? What is that optimizing for? Which use case does that support the best? And I think maybe just changing to a map here kind of solves the problem. And I don't store any custom data, which is kind of a nuisance to keep track of. Contain items.add item. It's like there's no, the ISMC doesn't maintain a map of like, because custom data is just an array of floats, and you can't just like look up some arbitrary custom data and be like, hey, what instance does this belong to? They're just floats. Like there's no way to tell with the way that it's stored. But yeah, I think maybe just using a map here is probably the easier way to do this. I'll have to think about all the other cases. I'll probably have to refactor fucking everything. But yeah, I guess I just wasn't thinking about this case whenever I originally built this. You know, the line trace would work and would be fine and would be performant enough, but I do think just having a constant time lookup in a map is going to be a lot better here. Oh, although this is going to be instance ID. Oh yeah, this is going to be backwards, actually. This will still be nice. I mean, this isn't what I need. So this won't solve this case. I'll still need to do the box trace, actually. Or I'll still need to do the box trace, but this will be nice to just look it up instead of having to do this, I suppose. Because what I really need is a map going opposite. Right, I need this map, is what I would need. I don't know if I want to like spend the memory to save that. Because I mean, these are going to be stockpile things. These ISMCs also represent anything dropped in the world as well. So it could be, it's definitely like a non-negligible amount of things. And the more the game goes on, the more memory is going to be taken up, right? Let me think here. Do I want to do this? And if I stored a... So I could just get away with this map, but then I would also need the custom data. I think an array of floats is probably cheaper than a map, right? I mean, it would have to be. What's a pointer? 8 bytes? Is a T-object pointer is how many bytes? How many bytes is a primitive instance ID? 4. Okay, it's actually not that much. T-object pointer is... Does it say? Hang on, let me... I think if I make like a little variable here. Pointer. How many bytes are you? Do you not show it? Why doesn't this show its size like the other ones do? I would like that. I would like that. The U item is 288 bytes. That's a lot, but we're just storing a pointer to it. Please tell me how much space you're taking up. I would very much like to know. Oh, okay, I guess I can just see the size of the map, which is 80. But that's just for the map itself, right? That's not like... I don't think that's a per map entry thing. Size of might result. Well, I'm not trying to run code to figure it out. Usually Writer just tells you when you hover over it. But I think I think I can just look it up. T object pointer. I mean, I know it's negligible. I just want to know T object pointer memory size. It's like slightly larger than a raw pointer. Memory size. T object versus raw pointer. Let me search bytes. Show results with bytes. Dude, I swear I have seen this somewhere before. Unreal Engine T object pointer bytes. How many bytes does it take up? Bro, why do these search results kind of suck? Does it just say it in here? Smart pointers are only twice the size of a CPP pointer in 64-bit, plus a shared 16-byte reference controller. So it would be 16 bytes, right? How many bytes do pointers take up? Well, pointer can be 64. Do you really need all 64 of those? Oh yeah, bits and bytes, right? So it is 8 bytes. I was right. It's 8 bytes. I get bits and bytes mixed up all the time. Okay, so it's 8 bytes, so it's going to be 16. The object pointer is 16 bytes. So we have 16. And it said 4 for the primitive instance ID, plus 4. So 20 per entry here. So 20, I mean, that's pretty small, right? That's pretty small. So like times like 1 million is like 20 million. I don't know why I had to do that in a calculator. 20 million. So if I had a million objects, 20k kilobytes, so 20 megabytes. That's pretty tiny. That's pretty fucking tiny, actually. Okay, we're gonna do it both ways. Yeah. It's pretty fucking tiny, actually. Items, item to ID, ID to item. Okay. Okay, contain items, add. No, we're not going to do that anymore because I need to add the instance index first. We're not going to add the custom data anymore. Friendship ended with custom data. And we're going to add the instance. Can I add instance by ID? Wonderful. Instance ID. Add item instance. Where do I use that from? Do I actually use the return value? No, I don't. Cool. If there is no item, yeah, just return empty ID. That's fine. And so we want to add by instance ID, and then once that happens, then we do the item to ID dot add item instance ID ID to item. Okay, so the memory actually ended up being like super negligible, so I'm glad I actually spent the time to look into that. I don't know why. I was just like, yeah, that's gonna be too much data. I guess I'm just like really in my head, I know that memory is my biggest bottleneck just due to the procedural terrain and running the whole world. So I'm like really trying to like save every ounce of it that I can. But like this is just, turns out to be super negligible. I mean, if there's a million things in the world, it's 20 megabytes. Like that's, I guess I needed to multiply it by 2 for each map. So it would have been 40 megabytes, but still. Pop instance item by ID, remove, and then if ID to item contains the instance ID. Do I actually need to remove it from the map though? I think I would because I'm popping it. So I wasn't doing that before. I feel like that would need to happen, right? Wait, where am I using this at? Pickup item. I'm not using that at all. Wait, what? Wait, what? Yes, I am. I am using that. Yeah, I should remove it from that. Yeah. This is a different function. I didn't finish that one. Is there a remove? It doesn't return the... Okay, it doesn't return. I was hoping there was a remove and return. Wait, is there a pop here? No, I don't think so. That's fine. Anyways, item to ID, if it contains, get in. Yeah, we're just returning the item here. And then I guess I need a function for... There's a pop instance item. I guess maybe I just need a pop item too. Pop item. Which goes the other way. And that would return... Do I need to return it at all? I think this is probably just remove item instance. I'll say remove instance for item. I don't think I would need it to return anything here, actually. So pop doesn't really make sense. Okay, so if item to ID contains item, I guess I can return Boolean if it return a bool for like success or something. So if item to ID contains item, Then item to ID, remove item. And then also, well, no, we don't want to remove it yet because we want to just get the instance ID. And then we want to remove instance by ID, remove the item, return. Okay. Does that return a Boolean? No, it just always does. We do get the key that gets removed though. Okay, so that'll be what I want to use there. Remove instance for item. Okay. And I think we've basically gotten... I don't think I need to forward that to the actor or anything. This is just going to be used... Yeah, it's just going to be used from the ISMC. We're always live. Do you ever sleep? Yes. Yes, I do. In fact, I only stream about 3 hours a day. Okay, let's rebuild. Uh-oh. What is this? Can you give me the actuals? So it doesn't like my maps here. Oh no, the primitive instance ID cannot be a key. That is... I feel like I've dealt with this actually. Don't I have some wrapper data? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I did this exact thing. Okay, let's put that into a different file. ISMC, ISM ID wrapper. I hate that name. .h. I hate that name, but fuck it, we'll do it. Okay. Now, do I need to... Can I forward declare that? That would be nice. I don't think I can, actually. Does it say, it's in a map. Okay, so we're going to reuse that. ISM ID wrapper. And I have the constructors for that set up. In ID? Yeah, okay. I think that actually just works now, though. Yeah, everything still resolves. But now it's just got equality. Overridden equality operators on it. Uh-oh. Expected to generate a body? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Sorry about that. Okay, please continue. Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. Okay. Dude, the amount of time it takes, that one was actually pretty quick. Okay. I was gonna say the amount of time it takes to open all these, disgusting, but it was actually fine. Okay, so here, oh, this is gonna get so much easier now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Ooh, but the area, the stored items in the area building data. I mean, should I even have that still anymore? Because I'll need to remove from that as well. The move to location, actually. Let me think about that. It is getting the storage spots. So the move to location should still be the storage spot. So we'll need to do that eventually. I'm going to pick up. Definitely need to. Oh, wait. I still don't have the ISMC. That was the whole fucking issue. Wait. That was the whole fucking issue. It wasn't just that I didn't have the ID. I don't have the ISMC either. And so I would need a... Okay, so either I iterate over all of the world item ISMCs, of which there will be one per item type. I still think I have to fucking do this box trace. So it's like either I can iterate over all of those. That doesn't scale very well. This scales fine. Or I maintain a map of item to which ISMC it's in. And I've just determined the maps are not that, they're not going to be that big. I think I need the... I also need to work on... making sure that when you delete the area, it doesn't delete the world item ISMCs. I think for that I would just yeah, I don't know, are these ISMCs gonna live here anymore, you know, on the area? Methinks no. And so in the world item ISMC subsystem, what the fuck is it? There it is. World item subsystem is what I called it. Right. This is to the actor. Yes, the actor contains it. It contains. Well, it's just storing them by texture at the moment, which is a little weird. But it does have the get or add ISMC. Yeah, should I just change the owner of this? Because I can, yeah. Get or add, get or add ISMC. It's already maintained. Yeah, I already have that map. Okay. Get itself, and I don't know why did Why did I decide to store them on the area? Did I think about that very hard? Did I think about that very hard? I think I did it to like... Yeah, I don't know that I thought about it very hard. We'll see. Get add ISMC. If it's not valid... If it's not valid, update status to failed. Don't know why that would be. That should never be the case unless it got deleted from like out from underneath someone. But that would have failed potentially. Eventually, yeah, we do want to do this eventually if it's successful. That's the very last thing that we will do. If that's valid, then what we want to do is what now? What now, Bobby? You know what I should do? I should put each of these into a function. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna go, that's not a function. Handle, pick up item action. So that will take in a pickup item action. Nice. Yeah, I should do that with the other ones, but continue. We'll continue here. Item to pick up. Yeah, if that's not valid, pick up action. Yeah, this will be a lot cleaner. Okay, so if that's valid, first of all, promote it to a variable so we don't redo it. World item ISMC. Set it if that's valid. Yes, yes, yes. World item ISMC. Remove item. Remove item. Remove instance for item. Yeah. That failed. Final thing we do is remove there. And then I still have the item. Well, no, I need to put it in the inventory as well. So get pickup action, get interacting object. Get interacting, we'll do actor, cast it to an actor basically. We have that. We should probably make sure that we have that first, right? Is using AI to assist with coding and help understand errors? Question mark. Wait, what are you asking? Are you asking if that's okay? Is using AI to assist with coding and help understand errors? I think you might have forgotten a couple words there. I think you're asking if that's okay. Is it frowned upon? I mean, there's no like rule, right? No rule written anywhere. Sleep deprived? Go to sleep, my dude. Go to sleep. Not using it to make code for me, but understand how the code works. I mean, it's all about what you get out of it, right? And how you use it. And so as long as you're getting something out of it in a, you know, non-detrimental way, then, you know, it's totally fine and dandy, you know. I know it can be especially helpful when you're starting with something new. You have a 2-month-old baby and you're like trying to also learn how to code at the same time. Oh man. That's a lot. That's a lot. Congrats on the baby though. Yeah, I mean, I would just like, I think the things you have to be aware of are just like how reliant you are on it, right? And that goes for any help, right? Any form of help. You know, whenever I first started learning how to code back in the day, back in the dark ages where all we had was Google, I copy and pasted code for probably like 2 years before I actually like, it's probably like a year and a half, I don't know. I copy and pasted code for a long fucking time before I actually was like writing it myself. And so I think you just got to be wary of the same kind of thing, right? My coding experience with C# was an API integrations engineer. Oh, okay. So you know how to code. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You should know. You feel like you should know the answer to that question already. Why do you feel like it might be frowned upon? What are you worried about then? Yeah, I should probably... Yeah, I think I want to check the validity of that up front. If we don't have an interacting actor, then it's like, what the fuck am I putting? What inventory am I going to put it in, you know? Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so get interacting actor, get component. I guess I actually need get component by class instead of interacting actor. I need the inventory component to put it in, so I actually don't give a shit about the interacting actor. Don't care, as long as it has... This is what I care about, really. The inventory. And if we don't have one, yeah, we can't pick something up if we don't have an inventory. Not that that would ever happen with how I have it set up. I don't think it ever would, but who's to say? I don't feel like it's frowned upon at all. I feel like people have made it that way because AI assisting with code is seen as AI doing your job for you. So I'll ask AI to generate boilerplate code and then implement that code the way I need it and not copy paste it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what a lot of people use it for. I guess it's more so helpful when you're working in an unfamiliar environment, right? Where you don't know what the boilerplate necessarily needs to be. You haven't done that, you know, a million times over. Like I use it to write tests for me all the time for my job. That's what I do. And that's, you know, tests are a lot of boilerplate because they're supposed to be damp, not dry, you know. I don't really use it to write actual code. That's probably why you don't see me using it a lot here in the stream either. Of course, the larger the code base gets, you know, the harder it is for AI to be useful. Okay, yeah, so we've removed the instance and stuff. And then, so we need that inventory. Add to inventory. I also need to know that the inventory has space in it, right? We should check that too. And if that's successful, then we remove it. Well, we should actually... When wouldn't this be successful? Oh, if it doesn't have... Oh, just if there's no item, actually. Got me thinking because I had a memory access violation error. I had no idea why. Only realized in my gameplay effect execution calculation I had two set by color magnitude with the same name, which meant they had the same memory address. AI was able to point it out for me. So what did you ask it? And what context did you give it? Because that's always like the problem for me when using AI. It always seems like kind of a shot in the dark. It's always like a last ditch effort for me, right? And so it's like trying to figure out, you know, something like a memory access. I would just look at like the, you know, wherever the breakpoint through. Because like, wouldn't it have thrown, I don't know what setup you have, but like in Writer, like it would show me the line where the, you know, the null pointer or something, or wherever that happened, which would have pointed that out for me, I think. You're using Writer, and so yeah, what did the error present as? Like, what was the stack trace for the error? What was the stack trace for the error, and then also how did you prompt the AI to help you? I feel like I could definitely... I've never used AI for troubleshooting, I'll say, actually. Where am I actually using this? Yeah, I need to make sure things can actually fit in inventories. I'm not actually checking that. And maybe add to inventory should check that internally. Oh, it would. It would do that, actually. So yeah, this will fail. So I should do this first. Actually. Do that first. Should I? But like, what if I can't remove the instance for the item? I guess I should check, you know, if that's valid. Yeah, it's definitely the first thing I should check. Branch on inventory can fit in inventory. Okay. Honestly, I asked it to wait till I sent in the ×2 code snippets and asked why I am getting memory violations. Was fed up and screaming child in my ear. Should probably solve the child access issue first, I would think. But I don't know what it's like having a kid, so maybe it's just like, you know, baby's being a little bitch and needs to grow up, you know, start paying taxes. Okay, so add to inventory. That should succeed. That should always succeed now at this point. So we are always going to remove from index first. I think that's probably the best order of operations. Yeah, that should always succeed at that point, so we're just gonna remove. Always. I'm just gonna, this is so ugly, we're just gonna copy and paste these everywhere. Okay, that long ass function I think does it. Okay, so let's go back to interact, and then we're going to make some other functions for handle store item action, passing in a store item action. Oh, I need to return here too. Return node. Heck. Store item action. Get item to store. We're doing the interacting character, which I kind of just want to... I just want to make sure that we're using the right one. So get interacting actor, promote to local variable there, interacting actor. And I mean, like, it should, if we're doing the react, yeah, I mean, we're literally doing that. We're literally doing that. So even in the other one, I don't need to. Well, I'm doing the inventory, which I guess needs to happen in this one, right? Store item in an area. Handle store item results. She's just being fussy because she cluster feeding. And that's 2 parent 5 me. I can now make my character heal based on max health and take damage based on level and attack. Nice, yeah. When you start finally figuring out the gas stuff, it's a nice thing. Nice when it all comes together. Okay. Handle store item action. Means we can delete this. And then I guess this is kind of self-explanatory now. And then let's make a handle ISMC action. Get ISMC action. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Then I should probably update the task status there. It failed. That should never happen, but wrong one. There you go. That's the one. This should probably never happen, but in case it does, that's there. A lot of gas stuff is boilerplate code, which is nice. Just need to know how to inject what you want into it. Yeah, I found that. I was actually quite unhappy with it, and like, I overwrote the whole, like, the cooldowns for gas were mind-blowing to me. It like basically wants you to create a new game. Not only do you have gameplay tags like for each ability, but it's like it wants you to create a gameplay tag and a gameplay effect for each cooldown. And I'm like, bro, I just need a number. That's it. I just need a number. So I overwrote that, and I think creating your own base class, like I have like my gameplay ability base, and like this has like all of my built-in functionality to it. I think doing that is important for gas. Like I have things like cancel when dead, cancel on sprint, whether it puts you in combat, whether it requires a target, if it can target friendly, whether it activates on press versus release. And this is for my aimed shot. So you press and hold to aim, and then you release it like a bow, you know? And here's my like global cooldown. And then my cooldown is just I just give it a curve table row handle for cooldown. Same for range, min, and max damage. I think that's like, if you get all that out there, the boilerplate, gets cut down a lot. And then here's my like built-in cost gameplay effect that I just reuse for everything rather than creating a new one. What you're doing still blows over my head with landscape deformation at runtime, etc. The deformation at runtime is actually quite simple. It's quite simple, really. That part's actually, it'll need to be more sophisticated, but for now, all it's doing is a Boolean subtraction with the geometry script library, which is a very easy, it's the same thing I do for the trees, which is actually quite easy to do. Am I ready to test this bad boy? Maybe, let's see. Make sure it still like works for other cases as well. Also gets you away from 0, 0. Okay, let's boop, okay. Good. 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 Good, okay. Okay, join my colony, sir, and he should understand now. Yes, go pick it up. Pick it up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not interactable. Is interactables returning false here? Right. I didn't update that, did I? Need to do like distance checks and stuff. He also didn't get like a good move to. The move to was not good. Any game we know that you already worked on? Nope, because I've never made one before. Oh, he did it! Oh, and he's eating! Let's fucking go! Oh. Now, he took all of it. Now, I'm wondering if he will haul the rest of that. He should only take one, really. Okay, so now you should actually haul your inventory. No, he just right-clicked it. Use from inventory. Why are you not giving me the stack trace for that? Oh, it's over here. Looking at the wrong thing. What is this? Make interaction from hit result. Use item class is illegal. Can I skip through this? I don't think so. Okay, so the use item class didn't look correct. I'll have to take a peek at the state tree. Oh. State tree. Find food. Use items. Use item class. Now, I should change this, actually. I should change this to do the gameplay tag query, actually. Yeah, let's do that. And then hopefully that fixes whatever issue we were seeing. Where was my use? There it is. Use from inventory, use item class. Yeah, this is going to be an F gameplay tag query. And this is so nice, man. I didn't even intend for this to be the case. But like, I changed my whole item hierarchy to gameplay tags. And now I just have this really nice gameplay tag query that I can use to do things like find a particular item in, you know, the colony storage, or use a particular item from your inventory. And it's nice and hierarchical, and it's nice, and it's nice. Now, this was an array. No, it wasn't. Why did I make this nested thing? I don't know. What am I doing on tick here? Oh, because I wanted to do it on the game thread. Yeah, that should probably happen on the game thread. Use item query, use from inventory. So yeah, I guess I'm saying like use an array of items. Would I ever need an array of items? For this use items task, or like use from inventory, would I ever need to use more than one thing? I think I would just make the task loop if I wanted more than one. I'm thinking about a scenario like I'm thinking of like equip, like you could equip items, you could use a potion or something. Would I ever need to use a particular item instance? I mean, I guess a particular item instance can be referred to by a gameplay tag query. Like, it can get that specific. But it might be nice to be like, hey, here's the exact item pointer that I want to use. Let's just keep it simple, because I don't use an array anywhere right now. So if I need to, I'll come. Yagni, right? Yagni. You aren't gonna need it. Call this item tag query. Use items tag query. Let's call it that. Pass that in there. And so now I need to write some, rather than find first index of class, I think what we need to write now is find first index of tag query. For each, no, not for I, for each in inventory contents. Entry, sure. If tag query dot matches the entry dot value dot get item tag. Can I not? I have to make a container for that. Ugh. Item tag container. Just tag container. I know I can like initialize it with a tag, right? I can type, which apparently I can't. So if we get that, we can just return entry dot key. Otherwise, entry, no, index, done. Index done. Wonderful. Thank you, writer. Find first index of tag query. Use items tag query. Now I have the instance, I'm already passing the instance data here, so I don't know why I would want to do that. We can just fucking use it. Which JetBrains IDE is that? It is writer. It is writer. Could not find item in inventory. I don't know. Can I, there's a description, right? There is a description. Can I get that in, instance data dot use dot get description? Yeah, is that a string? Yeah, it's a string ref. Okay, cool. We log entity, change that to an error because it is one. I think we can probably return there. Well, no, we're gonna update next frame at the end. Makes sense, makes sense. Okay, I think that looks good. Get description, items to use. Use items tag query dot. I wonder if I could just get the tags. Get gameplay tag array. Ah, tag. Nice. Don't need to check validity. Tag dot toString. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's gonna look so snazzy. Okay, I hope that works a lot better now. Let me see what else I'm doing here. I am getting the proxy actor. Like that. I'm doing all this on the game thread. I mean, that's fine. I just could be doing it earlier. But I mean, this is fine. This is fine. And let's initialize this to failed rather than success. I think that makes more sense. Okay, I think that looks good. I am really liking the change that I made. Changing the item hierarchy to gameplay tags rather than relying on my my object-oriented class hierarchy. I think it was a great change, and it's making, like, using these tag queries and tag containers for items is really nice. So if you guys ever need, like, I'm just throwing it out there, if you guys need to store your items hierarchically for any reason, I think gameplay tags are the move there. And that's coming from a guy who I like using gameplay tags for things. I don't like how much gas wants you to use them. It wants you to use like hundreds and hundreds of gameplay tags. And the thing is, like, I don't want to have to like manually create all those and maintain those. That's my big gripe with that. When I can just like, if I already have a class for an ability, like, I don't want to create a gameplay tag for just to represent that class, right? Like, let me just use the class itself if I want to, right? That's my whole gripe with it. The reason I don't want to do that with items is because of, I mean, basically just because of a representation to the player. Right, this hierarchy here, and also needing an ability to like query things hierarchically. Like, you can still do that with a class, but I guess the gameplay tags for it are really nice. And I'm not actually even creating them manually, because there's like this tag. You can load tags from a table, from a data table. And so what I do, you have to use a specific struct for it, the gameplay tag table row. But I just load in the same CSV that I have for my items data, and I make sure that there is item data. Like this, my item data struct has it extends from the tag table row, that same one that the other one uses. Now there's a bug in the engine to where you can't just, I wanted to just use my item table, because then it's like, all I have to do is type out these tags here once, you know, in a CSV, which is really easy, right? And then import them. And I wanted to just use that table here, but there's a bug where if you don't use I don't know if it's a bug or if it's intended, but if you don't use a table that is exactly the tag table row handle, then it'll bork your data tables. And I struggle with that for like an entire day. So what I just do is I use the same CSV as in my item data, so I write it once there. I just import it into here, and then it discards all the additional fields. So kind of annoying to get around that, but I think it's been worth it. Okay, so we're gonna use from inventory, and now I need to, and see, here's what I get, right? Eat food. Yeah, eat food, I'll just say. Let's call it eat food query. And you get this really nice, like, any tags match, and then I can just go food, any food, anything that's under food. Let's compile that. Okay, join my colony so you have access to the stockpile. He's gonna get hungry here in a second. Here he goes. Ready? Ready? Yes. Nice. It worked. It worked. Now, I think it was when I, like, after this, now his food values are I changed it to where he gets hungry when his food value is at 98 out of 100, so that happens kind of quickly. So he might get hungry like as soon as he's fucking done with this, right? Let me get him to haul his inventory. Oh, he put it down there. Nice. Yeah, he only ate one. Hell yeah. He's probably gonna get hungry here after he's done idling. He's gonna go back and eat some more. Now he picks up the whole thing. That's probably my next thing that I need to fix, but I like what I have now and I want to commit it. So this is going to be use food from colony storage. Use food from colony storage. Why am I logging this? It runs every frame. I think I was debugging there, but we don't need that anymore. Okay, so we're happy. Wait, what the fuck just... Oh, you're sitting down. Okay, that's fine. You're using Perforce. No. Just get. Just get. Is live coding done? No, it's gonna take forever. Okay. So yeah, I think my next thing is like he should only take one from that. So we need to add the ability to just pick up by quantity now. So we're at a nice stable spot. I like this. I like what we've done. But now we need to the pickup item action. Item to pick up. Now I'm wondering if this should be a gameplay tag query. Find item in colony storage. I guess I'm already running the tag query like I do. I think it's fine to have like an item here. I am returning the actual reference to the item. Or I say reference, the actual pointer of the item. I'm kind of wondering if I should just pass around the gameplay tag queries. Now that I figured that out. It's a pretty robust way to represent an item, and like I may need to rerun this if he gets to the storage and like the original item that he wanted isn't there. This is going to need to rerun, which is fine. But like I could just only run it when he gets there. You know what I mean? I guess all he really needs to know is if it... No, I guess I would need to run it here, basically, because I need to know if it contains an item to even go to. I don't want him to run there and then find out there's nothing there. Just running around checking empty storages, like... Nah. Nah. So I guess there wouldn't be too big of a difference here. I do, however, need some form of quantity. And I think that would go nicely here. Oh, I put a fucking quantity there. Wow, look at me. Wow. I thought about things. Okay. And yeah, I was just thinking like, yeah, the pickup, yeah, we'll just fucking forward it here. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And I think I'll treat -1 as a max. To pick up? Should I treat it as max? No, I don't know. We'll treat the actual value there, because if I want, well, how would I specify that? I think we would want to do the quantity of the item to query for the quantity of the item desired. -1 for max stack. How would I specify multiple stacks? I think if I wanted multiple stacks, I'd probably have an actual number that I'd be going for. So I will probably need to bake that into the item query. But for now, I think we can just, we're just basically going to forward it straight through. All that desired quantity, actually. I don't know, I think I still want them to go grab it, even if you can't get all of the quantity. And then I'll have find item in storage, like return true or false or something. I mean, maybe I can return an enum, because there's actually like 3 different results here. But for now, that's good. Let's just test that, because then I will need to, I'll need to use that desired quantity in blueprints. So I'm gonna rebuild that, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm lost. Can you redo all? Here, let me start from scratch. Yeah. That's amusing. Oh shit, hang on. Okay. All right, so we got quantity. Yeah, so we just want 1 there, and it is defaulted to 1. So now I got to put that into the anywhere I have a pickup item action, really. So let me do, that's going to be on the container, right? I want to change these names. These are confusing. Give item is handle pickup item action. Receive item is handle store item action. Item to store quantity, trade item. Yeah, so I mean, even store item action could have a quantity on it, right? Okay, so pick up item action, quantity, get quantity to pick up. So I need to select here. And so if this is equal to -1, we want to use the entire quantity, I think, and just rely on that being the max stack size. Otherwise, we use quantity to pick up. And in what cases should I pass in the max stack size here? Or should I just rely on it being, well, in what cases wouldn't it be the max stack size, I guess? In what cases wouldn't it be? Okay, I mean, I think this is fine. Quantity, if it's equal to -1, use the quantity on the item itself. And I guess I'll just rely on that item being populated properly to like the desired amount, I think. But I think I should also bake this into the in here as well. They could be separate. So let's do that. So we've done that, yeah. Done that, yeah. Let me add it to the. Let me add it here. Here. Quantity to pick up, and then we want new property anywhere, visible anywhere, blueprint read write. Int 32, quantity to store. Store. -1 for a max stack. Yeah, and I'll want to. I want to update that somewhere, like whenever I have the desired inventory settings built in there, I'll want to update that to an actual quantity. But for now, now we can just do that, and I'll update that here in a second, because we need better quantities there, don't I? And then going into the building area, interact, handle store item action. Stack items. It already contains there, stack the item. Interesting, okay. I have BVH animations, but I can't import them into Unreal. They work fine in Blender, but when I bring them into Unreal, they get messed up. Please help. Don't know what made you think that I could help you. I think you'll have a much better chance of figuring that out by typing that into Google. I know nothing about Blender, so I cannot help you. But yeah, I guarantee you someone on the internet somewhere has experienced that error before and has posted about it, and I'm sure that you can find how to fix it there. And you'll probably figure it out a lot quicker by asking Google. Just popping in the stream to say hey and drop a like. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope your day goes swimmingly. And I hope the same for you. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. You seem a professional. Do I? Jesus Christ. Oh. I guess I'm just really good at grifting then. I am no professional by any means. What am I doing here? This is store item in area. Yeah. Now, I guess I'm just relying on the item to store quantity. Like the quantity on the item here. So there's nothing... I wonder if I should just create a new item with the quantity on it. I don't know. That's kind of... Is that easier or harder to work with? Because I could create a new item with the amount. But then I would need to like subtract from the old item. Yeah, I don't know. That seems awkward. I think we'll rely on this, but then I'm gonna need to bake in quantity to this as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that part. I'm not gonna do that part yet. What about pick up item? This one I can probably handle. Remove instance for item. This is going to be like, I need to remove the instance if quantity to pick up is -1. Or the I don't like having -1 for max. That I should only have -1 as max quantity from the where was it? Yeah, from here. This is the only. I think that's the only, because then I don't know what the max is from that perspective. Everywhere else, -1 is not for a max stack. And then I just need to make sure that I set that to the max if... equals -1. Then quantity to pick up equals out item quantity. Okay, and then where else was this used from? There we go. Okay, so that's that. Now I don't need to worry about that. So Now I just need to know if this is equal to the total quantity. Only then do I actually care about removing it from the ISMC. Okay. Let's do a sequence, because I don't need to, I actually don't care about handling that failure case anymore. Sequence, then do this. And we don't even need a branch there anymore. Yeah, that's the failure case I don't care about handling. Okay. Worm Juice, welcome in. It's my marketing skills, you know, definitely in naming my game. And using placeholder assets. Very, very well marketed. What else do I want to do? Yeah, change this. This is what I want to change. So I'm going to update that here in a hot second. Once I rebuild this one, we just go straight there. Yeah, so that gets a lot simpler. Okay, compile, save, file, save all, shut down. And we will rebuild. Mm-hmm. 26 actions, wonderful. Do you have any games out in full release right now? Nope, this is my first one. I am not a professional. So I think this will probably be the last thing I do for today. I do need to hop off and get some work done. We made some decent progress today. He can pick up from stockpile voxel storage, which is the main thing. You can pick up from the storage, and then you can also use from storage as well. Then I guess we're also doing the quantity. We rewrote use from inventory and got a colony storage task going. Decent progress today. Handle store item action. Quantity to store. There we go. Quantity to pick up. Okay, and so for the area, yeah, for the pickup works nicely. Well, no, it doesn't, because we're just going to add the whole thing. Shit. Okay. So let's write a to-do there. To-do, handle non-max quantities. There's a to-do there. I also need to handle that to-do when storing something. Which will be somewhere here, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of quantity stuff happening. And then I could even go farther into... This is just for colonists, right? So for players, like I'll need to come up with some inputs to grab. I'm thinking Shift E and then Control E. Shift E, Shift click grabs half from an inventory. So I think Shift E would make sense as grabbing half from a stockpile. And then Control E, I wanted to make that be grab just one item. And then I will need some input for like grab a certain number, you know. I'll need some input for that. But yeah, I think that's it. Well, I guess let me see if that works. Yeah, let's actually test it. Yeah, we're gonna throw 10 in there. Invite him to the colony. So when he gets hungry, he can eat. And he's hungry now. Let's see if he grabs one here. He did. He only grabbed one. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, let's find somewhere to send you guys. A lot of people on today. Let's send you guys over to, let's see, what are they doing over here?
Consciousness that we all have and get like real spiritual about it. So
we're talking spiritual.
Reddit, and you know, there was like a moment the first time I saw it.
All right, let's send you guys over to Fractal Grove. I just found out about them not too long ago.
Yeah,
I know they're like an actual studio. There's two of them that I guess stream. I don't know like how many are in their actual studio or anything, but they seem like cool guys. They seem like fun. So I'm gonna send you guys over there, and I'm gonna bid you all adieu. Thanks everyone for hanging out. You sort of letting ideas come to you and unravel into the world, or is there a very specific roadmap in your mind already? A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Actually, before I send you guys over there, let me see if they have a YouTube stream. Do they have a YouTube stream? Well, I guess I can just find out by looking. I did subscribe to them. I might do a redirect. Oh, I don't see them. Fractal Grove, yeah, I don't see them. So we can't redirect on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. But yeah, thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye.